Hello and welcome back to the Doctor's Garage here on YouTube. So I'm very excited today to be showing you the rarest hypercar in the world, the Jaguar CX75, and this is chassis number 1. As you know, if you watch the channel regularly, I'm a massive fan of JLR products, and it doesn't really come much more special than the Jaguar CX75s. Now, you may recognize this car from the James Bond film Spectre. This was Mr. Hinx's car, where he chased James Bond in his DB10. So this design originally was unveiled at the 2010 Paris Motor Show, and originally it was going to be gas turbine driven, and it was designed to celebrate 75 years of Jaguar. They had a huge customer interest at the time, and they were going to make 250 of these models. But unfortunately, due to financial troubles that Jaguar had at the time, they weren't able to put any into production. It was kind of forgotten about. But it was designed at the time to be a competitor for the P1, the LaFerrari, the 918, but unfortunately never really got made. It wasn't until 2015 for the James Bond film Spectre and the villain's car Mr. Hinx drove.
Welcome, James.
That this car was brought back to life, and actually Williams, the F1 team, were commissioned to make 6 new cars with the modifications, and this is one of those modified cars. So they have a space frame, basically a rally chassis actually in this car. After filming was done and these cars had kind of done all the stunts and stuff, Williams rebuilt them, got them all sorted, and as you can see, they're pretty tidy now. There's not much damage on them at all. So when you look around this car, it was actually a 2010 design. It's pretty amazing, really, because if this car was produced properly, it would have been a real contender against things like the P1, the 918, the LaFerrari. It was an incredible bit of kit that Jaguar designed at the time, and they probably would have beaten those other manufacturers to the hybrid hypercar. Let's take a look inside this car. So the doors come up like this, and as you can see, it is fully race-specced out. You've got the aluminium space frame in here, well, I think it's aluminium at least. You've got the fire extinguisher, and this actually puts out to various points inside the cabin in case there was a fire in here. You've got the Momo race wheel and these amazing little carbon fiber paddle shifters too. You've got these Recaro seats, which are Jaguar embossed, and generally it's pretty sparse on the inside, just basically Alcantara. If I get inside this car, which is quite hard to get into, to be fair, it does feel more like a race car than a normal car. And you can see on here, this is number 1 of 4 of the CX75, so a very, very special car indeed. And you can see here, it's pretty much got all the toggle switches here for racing. You've got blower, stunt brake, because this had the hydraulic handbrake here for doing those drifts, those slides. You may have seen this car actually when Felipe Massa had it in 2015 at the Mexico Grand Prix and was sliding this car around. This is that same car. So very, very sparse interior in here, pretty much all just wrapped in Alcantara, but it's pretty cool actually inside here. Doesn't feel like your normal supercar, but very, very cool nonetheless. And if we shut this door with this handle just here, you can see how it's very, very bare built. So the start button on this car is under here, I believe. You've got the ignition, and it's kind of like sort of aircraft-like kill switch on here, and this is the brake bias, so you can calibrate it whether you want front or rear for the brake bias. So some really unusual features that you wouldn't see really in any other car at all. This is just a black panel actually. There's no infotainment or anything in here, but you do have a screen on there, just one little screen on the inside that you can see. So that is inside the CX75, and let's just climb out of this if I can get out. And as I mentioned, this is chassis number 1. So very, very special car indeed. In here in a minute, we'll open this up and have a look at the engine as well, that 5-litre turbo supercharged engine. So let's take a look around this car in total. So you can see how this car's built. It's kind of bare carbon fibre in places. You've obviously got the Jaguar badge. It's kind of all held together with screws and clips. So very much like a race car in its design. Going around the side, Got these very nice Jaguar alloys and these massive, massive disc brakes through here. And just look at the shape through there. It's very, very concept car-like when you look through this. Again, carbon fibre trims all around the windows. The vents in here and the ducts just to keep things cool. And going around the back as well, it seems like almost this car would need a wing, but actually this does pop up, I believe, as you get to speed. And again on here, massive carbon fibre diffuser through the rear, as you can see there. Going to the back, you can see the very nice Jaguar 5-litre V8 in the back that was put in by Williams. And again from this side, more exposed carbon fibre through here. And I think the fuel tank is under here, but you've got to lift all the back up, which we may do in a minute. I'll get Luke to help me with that and just lift that up. So yeah, again, carbon fibre through the lower part and the bottom on here. And then moving through, on here, interestingly, as a stunt car, it's got like a fuel cutoff and electric cutoff. I'm not sure which one's which, but that is because obviously it was driven as a stunt car. This is Mr. Hinks's car that he drove and all the stuff. Here we also have chassis number 7, which is the car that sideswiped those motorbikes out the way in the film. And this is exactly the same inside. It's very stunt car and stripped out. So you've got both models here side by side, which is pretty unique. And as I say, there's no other place that has both these cars side by side in a showroom, apart from here at Cayman's. So I've got Luke here at Cayman's helping me open the back of this so we can have a look at this engine. So kind of got these kind of race clips on it to get it out, and there it is, the 5-litre V8, isn't it, that was put in. This was built in collaboration with Williams, wasn't it, at the time. So the whole thing really is not a decorated engine bay at all. You kind of got a lot of these plastic sort of loose bits through here. It's definitely not a decorative engine bay, but still a very impressive engine here with all this carbon fibre topping and lid on it. So from the side, and that's open. Does the front have anything in it as well, Lucas? Does the front open?
All cooling.
Just cooling stuff.
This whole panel just comes off.
But you've got this is unscrewed though, isn't it, I think, through here?
It's full Allen screws.
Oh yeah, you can see massive fan through there. Yeah. So yeah, that's the engine in this thing, and as you can see, it's still very, very race car type spec really, rather than something that was finished like the other cars that are in this showroom, which you can see there's quite a few of. So I hope that's been an interesting video, seeing one of the rarest hypercars in the world and just getting a look around it. If you enjoyed the videos, please check out the other videos on my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.